daily basis, we're doing that back and forth. Folks that will pick up your waste, folks that will hook up your electricity, folks that will make your business better, your water, all the other utilities. So business climate is a big part of where we are today. Direct support for business. Now this is where I'm going to get to talk about folks that I'm with on pretty much a daily basis. I say pretty much because they're there every day. I'm not. But the direct support for business comes in lots of forms. It comes with the folks back there at that table and scattered around the room that are on the phone, on emails, on websites, with all of our members on an annual basis, and most of them on a daily and weekly basis. So whatever you need to make your business successful, you're selling insurance, you're selling banking services, you're selling all the things that you sell, legal services and energy, all those kinds of things. We're connecting you to the things that you need to do that. Some of those are customers, some of those are employees, some of those are statistics, some of those are business lists, some of those are the things that look like marketing, sales, some of those are human resource issues, some of those are best practices. Our manufacturing, they talked about chairing the Manufacturing Association. A big part of what the steering committee and the subcommittees do is share best practices about staying competitive. If you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. This community is all about moving forward. So the environment that we foster every day, small business planning, which is becoming more and more sophisticated. We've always done it. Now we're bringing more partners with the SBDC. And those folks are excited about being here. You're with the government. We're here to help. They see that the partnership with this chamber and this community is a way that they can become a model for what they want to deploy across this nation. Those aren't my words. That's their words. We deliver this support for business one-on-one, a lot of one-on-one. You know, if you haven't heard from us, just wait a second. Somebody is calling you, somebody is texting you, somebody is emailing you, somebody is coming by and knocking on your door on a daily basis. And if you don't get it exactly when you need it, just stick up your hand. Somebody will be right there. That's who we are today. Connections, connecting source. All the ways that we connect business. We were adding up the events, the standard event, things like this, things like networking, things like, we do 70 of these kinds of things a year. We do probably 400 connections kind of one-on-one. We contact all of our members at least once, and then about half of them, you know, we get back again 2 or 3 times. So that's between 600 and 900 connections. You know, sponsorships, directories, websites, newsletters. I was looking at my contact list on Outlook the other day. There's 878 names. People that we've collected, and Ayako's got that many, and Keisha's got 6 times that, and everybody around this room has got that. So when you need a connection, we generally know who those folks are. And we generally know how to get you connected. It's funny, we were talking, not funny. Where's Sheila? There you go. Sent us a gentleman from Italy by way of Venezuela, and the lady that was with us from Moscow, and they were talking about moving here because they have a daughter that was moving to Garland specifically because they want to work in the education system, want to work with kids. So I went to my contact list. Where's Joe Walker? Got them connected to Joe because Joe, as you know, his achievement is all about mentoring students. And now they're going to put these resources together and some folks that are his mentors that they know from other contexts, and he's bringing video games and tools to help these kids, at-risk kids, learn. Well, it was sitting at my office and punching up my Outlook and getting those connections. That's what we talk about on a daily basis, not some theoretical kind of exercise, but a real exercise, how we do that. Again, describing what it is we do today. Now, a lot of you came here for this. This has kind of been the theme of this luncheon presentation. How do we define success in economic development? Well, ultimately we define it as everybody's business success. One-on-one, small business, big business. We commemorated my 22 years this morning with some cupcakes. It's a good thing to do, right? What was even a better thing to do is the cupcakes were baked by a brand new business in Garland, Mon Petit Bakery down on 930, who's already done a ton of business after joining the chamber and getting the opening that the mayor and some folks from the council attended, some other folks in the community. They prepared cupcakes for my granddaughter's birthday party. They did cake for Jamie's daughter's birthday, and on and on and on. And I didn't tell my wife that we had a new member. She went to Jan Furtick's Facebook and saw that we had a new member, and then ordered me to order cupcakes. But that's how business works today. And it works on a personal basis. So this economic development thing, we talked about it. We don't necessarily focus on that, but the things we focus on are numbers. And when we started this partnership in 1995 with the city and the school district at the time, since then the college and others have come on board, we decided we would measure it in terms of how much tax base and jobs. And so from 1995 to 2010, 1.5 billion, actually in excess of $1.5 billion in tax base added and retained 16,000 jobs. So when people talk about why should I be a part of this organization, you know, I don't sell anything in Garland. I don't do business locally. Well, if you took $1.5 billion worth of tax base away and 16,000 jobs, what would you have to pay in taxes? Brian's got his calculator out. He's figured this out right away. If that didn't happen, and all these other services that are directed at you about making your employees more productive, how would that happen if we didn't have this collective thought about bringing things together? Just 2011, $20 million in new and retained, and another 1,100 jobs. That's in addition to that 1.5. That's in a slow time, folks. That's in a tough time. But I think one of the things that, how many of you have a bucket list? A few of you. Okay. I never had one until about a week or so ago, and I started it because I've now put on my bucket list, we'll never ever attend another economic outlook conference. Too depressing. I went to one in the Dallas Chamber and came away ready to, Kirk was there. The last speaker said that you may want to go drink, and he was right. But one of the things that we have to look forward to is prospects. And if you, on a conservative basis, look at the things that are in the pipeline, there's another $168 million worth of tax base and easily another 1,300 new jobs in the near future. And this isn't chamber folks, lying about the weather, bragging about the population. You all expect a lot more from that. I mean, that's kind of the standard. But we don't do that. We don't expand the truth. We look at what we think is real, and there's some huge things on the horizon that will make those numbers come into sharp focus very, very quickly. Well, that's today. What is tomorrow? Well, I'm looking at tomorrow, folks. I'm looking at all of you and talking about, and I mentioned this to the board because you never, ever, ever want to outline your board of directors. I tried that a couple of times, didn't work. So our last board meeting, we did a little preview of what the future looks like. And what we've been working towards for a very long period of time, over the last 5-6 years specifically, is being very intentional about business success. Back to 1895, to our charter, a place where all businesses succeed. 2012, we're going to take that to another step. And I'm looking at all of you in this room as some level of a strategic partner. Some of you are doing that now, others will be asked to do this. We're going to take, much like Leadership Garland model, we're going to take recommendations, nominations for people who belong to this organization. We're going to take those nominations through the first couple of months of the year. About February, March, we're going to have an event where we're going to bring those folks in, as nominees. We're going to bring them in, whoever, whether it's folks in your district or folks with your bank or folks that are customers or suppliers for your company. And we're going to put probably in a room like this, because there's going to be a couple hundred of them. And we're going to talk about being intentional about their success. I need to be intentional about finishing the next 2 minutes. So, and from that, we're going to pick no more than about 50 to bring into the fold. We're going to do that twice a year. So over the course of next year, we're going to have 100 of those folks. Because what we've learned is our commitment. When somebody joins, it's not a throwaway relationship. It's a commitment. So the time that we're going to spend one-on-one with those folks, the time that we're going to spend connecting them with business success is a function of the resources. So tomorrow is going to look like past, except we're going to be a whole lot more intentional about the process, a lot more intentional about the outcome. You come to us from a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different communities where you experience a lot of different chambers of commerce. I've been doing this for 35 years. I'm very proud of the brand. I'm also very frustrated that we departed from the original intent of the brand, which is business success, and got all involved with stuff. We're still going to have 79 events, and you're still going to have the opportunities to do the things from here and network. But if you're connected with this Chamber of Commerce now and going forward, there's going to be a real intent about your business success. So look forward to that. There's 3 things, and this is one of the admonishments. Is that a nice word for all you better do this kind of a thing from my staff? You got to leave folks with something to remember. And with all this conversation, we're going to be about the success of Garland, Texas. That's why we were started in 1895. That's why it exists today. That's why we exist tomorrow, Garland Success. And we define that as individual business success along the way. So Garland success, business success. And the third thing is we've got what it takes to deliver on that value proposition. If you're a member of the Garland Chamber of Commerce staff, would you stand up? Gary will excuse you if you don't pop up on here. Broken leg and still comes to work every day. We have what it takes. 7 folks, plus me, they're working every day for you. For the amount of money you pay in dues, you've hired 8 folks. We have what it takes. If you're with the city of Garland in some kind of capacity, stand up. Please. Relationships. Relationships with folks that are involved with business climate. With big projects like this, with day-to-day, with delivering on utilities. If you're involved in education in any capacity, stand up. Okay. Thank you, Linda. Our most important commodity, we have what it takes. The direct folks and the relationships with the folks that deliver on the value proposition, we're confident that we can make your tomorrow a much brighter. One little piece of housekeeping, there's a card on that table that we'd like you to mark indicating which day of the week that you would like to have this event. We've been doing our Mondays for a while, and we recognize that Monday isn't always the best date for everybody, so we'd like you to tell us if there's a better date. Now, by my watch, it's a shade past 1, so I need to wrap this up. So how do you wrap up a talk that started with some high school picture and me holding a rifle and all this conversation? How do you wrap that up? So, going back to our Lincoln thing, my wife suggested that we call her and ask her if she enjoyed the play. It's a tough crowd, it really is. I thought I would indicate that there were 3 things I wanted you to remember, and then I could only think of 2. Ouch. But I think what I'm really going to do is just say, on behalf of all of us that do this every day, how much we appreciate the opportunity to do it. How much we depend on you wanting to get better to do what we do. And how much we're going to deploy that message from you to the folks that are important to you. Because if a business succeeds, aren't they a better bank customer? Don't they pay their taxes? Don't they do a lot of things better? Buy more hats? In fact, everybody needs to buy a hat. Use more custodial services. Aren't they better off? And if an organization is committed to that business success, don't you want to direct them here? That's an amen, folks. That's just So I think I'm going to leave that and say thank you for letting us do this on a daily basis. Appreciate it.